Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. Naomi Tucker alongside Keith Fusel. Thrilled to have you with us once again here. 9 races on tap. I know it's a little bit chilly outside, but we've got some action to heat it up.
What you do? We had a snow day yesterday in March. I mean, we do get snow in March. We always, hopefully that was the last little surge of cold weather that we're going to experience yesterday and today. But you said you had a nice little brunch, right?
I did.
Yeah.
My mom's actually in town. So right now, Alejandro, my partner, and my mother are in the grandstand. And we got to go and have some brunch yesterday because they were planning on coming to the track. So now they're here today.
I actually got my wife to go to the OTB with me for 25 years of marriage.
Okay.
We don't get too many Saturdays together, right? So I drug her out. She was hungry, wanted a little cocktail. So we went over to Timoni, met up with the Hammer, Jack Harmon, and it was a good crowd at the OTB. Everybody seemed like they were having a good time. So yeah, we were still involved. We were still wagering. So that was a good thing. And now we're back at it.
I did watch some racing.
Did you? Okay.
I did watch the Tampa Bay Derby. But look, we never have a Saturday. That's why we actually went and had some food, because I can't remember the last time I actually had brunch, because we never really do that normally during the week. So we thought we'd take full advantage of it. Let's have a look at some of the events that are coming up this week. We do have a College Hoops Watch Party Friday, March the 18th. And 12 to 7 p.m. we have discounted food and beverage specials. And look, Keith, I'm going to have to throw this to you because you know more than I do about the basketball that we can watch.
Oh, yeah. The March, whatever we want to call it. I don't know what we can't say, but the tournament coming up, I'm looking forward to it, absolutely. So you've got an opportunity. If you can maybe wager amongst friends, you got some other wagers. You come out and you sit down and enjoy it on the big screen on the second floor. But lots of specials here, Preakness infield tickets, incentives. You got it. Food and beverage specials. I look forward for this time of year. I love the start of that college basketball tournament.
So I'm going to be asking you for inside tips here. I mean, look, we can talk horse racing, but I don't know as much about the basketball, so I'll be looking towards you.
Okay.
What a Gold Stakes Day is coming up in less than a week from now. 5 stakes races, nearly $500,000 in purses. Look, I'm always a fan of the 3-year-old events here, the Beyond the Wire stakes, the private terms. But of course, we also have the Maryland Breds and the Not for Love, the Connivers, also the Harrison E. Johnson Memorial Stakes. So much to look forward to.
Yeah, you get to see some of these horses every month, every other month with these stakes programs that we have, these big stakes days, right? $450,000 in purses, and that's what I like, the rivalries. You get to know the horses. Sometimes you don't even need a racing form. You're so familiar with them, you can just handicap off memory. But looking forward to a Pot of Gold Day Stakes Saturday. Unfortunately, I won't be here. I'll be watching from a distance. I'll be down at Ellery doing the Ellery Trials announcing. So, yeah.
We're going to be missing you here. Big
day.
All
right. I'll be here in spirit. You got it.
Let's have a look at the current track conditions. The main track is fast, courtesy of the team here at the Maryland Jockey Club. They have been working non-stop to make sure that we can put on the racing card today. So our gratitude goes out to them. You can see it's a chilly day, 27 Fahrenheit, but the track is looking beautiful.
Yeah, we want to keep it. I think a little bit more chill in the air is probably good for the racetrack right now. Then we'll get through this race card and move on from there as the temperatures rise significantly for next week. So hopefully, like I say, the cold is behind us. We can get towards spring.
So
that snow on top of that layer on top of the turf course, that should help it, and things will be popping very soon out there on the green.
Yeah, I hope we get over this hump, and we'll be looking forward to those deep turf fields once again. Of course, for our stakes weekend, the weather is going to be significantly warmer as well. So people can actually sit outside, grab a drink, really enjoy everything that we have to offer here at the Maryland Jockey Club. Let's go over these races. First race starts the early pick. 5 is a nickel claimer for fillies and mares, 4-year-old and up. Numbers are 2 lifetime. 1 turn mile to that second wire that we've come to know as well. Look, big scratch of the number 6 in here. My first question was, who really wants to take up the lead?
I'm hoping it's the 3 All About Audrey coming off of a layoff. 2 okay sprint tries, a little improved last time. But go back on the page, a race at Pimlico going long, was able to kind of widen, handled it, was up front, had something left. There's nobody with any real true speed. Maybe you'll see sometimes, though, riders will go ahead and send horses that aren't normally speed types. I think natural speed is here for All About Audrey, so she relaxed into her own kind of flow, running just own race. I think she can maybe separate at a bigger price and pull a little shocker in the opener.
Yeah, I keep thinking every time we say, well, who really wants to go? All of a sudden, you do indeed see riders with horses that haven't shown that much pace before try and take it up because the opportunity presents itself. I'm thinking Totally Perfect might be interesting to use as well. She didn't actually compete that much in 2021, but has started return to some of her better efforts as of late as well. So I feel like she's a kind of upward moving mare to use in this spot.
Great. She's a stayer. She last time out, Travel Girl, I watched that race, cousin Joni's horse. Shout out to Joni Reynolds. But just beat the gate, whistled. There was nobody catching Travel Girl that night, but she kept on willingly. She's a grinding type. She's a stayer against this group. Blessed Honor, I think, will be able to save a little bit more ground and have a little bit more punch for the final 3/16 of a mile. 3-2-4-1. Let's hope All About Audrey can score to Price.
Oh, look, I hope Totally Perfect can do something for me here. But sure. We'll root for your runner as well. Race number 2 starts at early pick 4. I don't think we have it on screen just yet, but you can tell us how you think it might play out.
Well, let's see. I did a pretty reasonable ticket. I think you've got to use Tate. Maybe Peterson's Courage is a little upset shot in there in the start of the pick 4. Race 3, I'm kind of concentrating around Paint Music for me and go to the outside with Pay the Kid. 4th race, it's a spread. I've got everybody but Captain Fofo, I believe, on a ticket. You'll see a little bit later because it is a $20 ticket. Let's hope it adds up. 6 and the 8. Going to use the first of Damon's to wrap things up for a $20 early pick 4 ticket. We will have that for you shortly.
Yeah, I have Damon's first-time starter in my exact in that race as well. So get there in a second. Race number 2, optional claimant starter, allows 1 turn, 1 mile again in here. We do have video spotlight on the horse that I ended up using on top after watching that video because Lomaki Force broke but then buckled over himself a little, causing him to lose position, settle mid-back. You can see him right there at number 5. But I thought he rallied tenaciously on the rail.
Yeah, a couple little moves. And really kind of finally got into a little bit of a rhythm. Under pressure, though, to get to position from the far turn, say, to about the 5/16, then has to wait just a little bit, gets through, and I thought showed a lot of heart. For a horse that normally wants to be on or near the lead, some of those races you've seen up at Woodbine on the synthetic, likes to battle it out front. Hey, a little bit better break. This horse should be forward. I marked this horse down after watching that last race. Unfortunately, runs into a horse like Tate, who comes out of a super strong race, seems to be on the improve for this barn, for Irving Velez and Robert Cole. But that was a gutsy effort. Cleaner break, you'll see that number jump up. Lamaki Force a stayer in here. Peterson's Courage, I'm just trying to guess with Peterson's Courage. He good, bad, good, bad. He looks like he's laying on a good race.
He was flat a little bit in his last race.
Dead flat. So I think looking at the field, he'll get a stalking trip. Not quite sure. First route, now Brittany's done well, about 30%. She's about 30% with everything, but first route, she is on the dirt. Just a price user in here because I think you're going to get much better than what you saw last time out at 5-2. And, I think you still get 5-6 to 1, maybe even 8. Maybe I have it lined a little high, but you'll still get a fair value on Peterson's Courage.
Yeah, I was switching around with my top selection here, Lamaki Force, as well as Tate, the number 4, because Tate seems the one to be in there to huge effort. And none in the field have been able to run any of those kind of figs as of recent. So had him in my exact. I tried to get some value with the runner that just did not get the best of runs. But I think if he gets a clean trip, he can definitely step it up. And if Tate even regresses even so slightly, might be able to topple him here. But look, I used Peterson's Courage underneath as well. Race number 3, conditioned nickel claimer, mile and 16 around the 2 turns here. And both of us landed on Paint Music for me. You were mentioning him in your pick 4 ticket, and I remember having him on top as well. Cleared his Nomen as a 3, Nomen as a 2 lifetime in pretty quick fashion.
Going through the conditions here, now steps up 1 in 6 months or 4 in life. But to me, what I like, he's back showing a little bit more speed, positional speed. They were going pretty quick, and he was able to grind it out. Obviously, was going to slow down a little bit after making the move into that faster pace last time. But I thought that was a good, encouraging effort. Looking at the speed, well, it's the rail. It's known as the burn is going to go. I think Paint Music for me might be able to get the jump on some of these other horses and grind it out. Kieran, we got a little stat for him. He's 37%, 7 for 19 in Maryland when The horses win, last out, and are in for $5,000. You got that combo today. So Kieran, back-to-back stat days for Kieran McKee.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tricky stat to beat. I think Peyton Music for me is gonna get a similar stalking trip as what he got last time out. So I'm hoping that he can capitulate on that again. Both horses use Pay the Kid on the outside. Rudy Sanchez Solomon seems to be on a very strong upward curve as of late. It was a career close to career best figure last time out, if I can pronounce my words here. JD is really capable of getting the best out of him in here, and he stays on board. He just kind of keeps him straight, guides him home strongly, because I do believe that this 5-year-old kind of needs that guidance late, as you can tell with some of your bylines as well. You see that he just hangs, or he kind of worries a little bit. JD's that kind of strong rider that really makes sure that this horse gives his best.
And this is a horse I thought going into a barn, Sanchez Solomon, I thought would show a little bit more speed, and he's kind of reverted tack. He's changed and gone from a little bit deeper, farther off the pace, and it seems to work for this guy. He can kind of sit back, get in the clear, relax, and just start that grind. And you talk about J.D. Acosta, the right kind of rider, as I say it all the time, use the word carry a horse to the wire. He can certainly do that. Now, he does move inside to outside. Yes, he beat Paint Music for me by 4 and some change. Couple races back. I think things are going to be a little bit closer today. Maybe even Paint Music for me turns the tables, because Paint Music for me that day had a really tough trip. He was 4 wide every step of the way.
Yeah, 2764 for me, 2716 for you. Race number 4, claiming $8,000 to $6,000, 5.5 furlongs. The distance here. This is a wide open sprint affair. Let's start with the runner that we have video spotlight on both of us. Use him in our exacta and trifecta, respectively. Commanding General, who did not get the clean break one would have hoped for. I thought actually Angel Cruz did very well to stay on, because Commanding General had his nose touching the ground on the start. He was actually then sort of kind of allowed to stride back up, but he didn't help himself. Over 5.5, when you have a bad break, it's very, very tough to get back into it.
And your horse, he's kind of a horse that needs everything his own way, whether it's up on the front, relaxed, or a clean trip from just off of it. You throw that stumble in there, and now he tries to make a middle move into a pretty honest pace, some pretty good horses. He's just not going to he's not going to sustain, and he didn't this particular day. 2-back try was good, maybe against a little bit better field than he's facing today. Cleaner break, he stalks and make him move into it. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's got a very live chance here. But look, I can make a case for at least a handful in this field. I do love the way that Commanding General is still trying to rally here. Is starting to tire. I think that bubble kind of got to him here. But he, like you mentioned, he was up against some tough runners, including next out winner Stroll smoking in here. You went with the number 1. I got a rock on the rail. Now, on face value, you're thinking he's going to have to run faster, right? His last couple of 4.5 sprint efforts are not good enough to win in this spot, but he gets the extra furlong. You can tell that over 5 and 5.5, he's actually run figures that make him very competitive in here. You just have to go back a little bit further.
Yeah, I look like a big old Tootsie Pop up here right now. Big old sucker going for I Got a Rock. Looks like a horse they're trying to bring in here and maybe lose. Dropping down it because turf season's right around the corner. This horse has run well on the turf. Now you're going to give him away for $8,000.
Well, maybe you want to get him ready to get going. For the turf again, right?
He's fast. There's no doubt about it. He's running against some quick horses at Charlestown. The try off the break, I looked at that. In a little trouble, just a little protect through the stretch. Next time out, very quick bunch and was live to the wire. Draws inside. He's beaten horses in Maryland, beat some good fields. I got a live bug rider, right? Send may be the speed of the speed, but this is a reach, a little bit of a reach. I think this race you got to box, 3 or 4 horses, maybe key box 1 or 2 horses with 4 or 5 others. The price should be okay. I had a real struggle lining this race. I could be way off, but I'm going to take a flyer in here, and I think to the front, who's run well over this track is going to be poised to run a big one from just off the pace.
Yeah, he's also stretching out from that 4.5 from Charlestown. I think he's going to give Pascal Chant a little bit of a run for his money up front. Both of them very, very fast early. But to the front, super effective over this distance, actually. From 5 starts, 2 wins in 2 seconds over it for trainer Anthony Ferrier, who went partnering up with Arnaldo Bocachica, does very, very decently. 2021, 2022, 38% they're hitting at together. So you want to take another look when those two team up. But I landed on the number 8 towards the outside, Pascal Chant for trainer Dale Capuano. Dominated in a similar spot 2 starts back. Looks to be the speed of the speed again, but like I highlighted, to the front. It's going to give him something to think about. But I like that Pascal Chant has that outside draw advantage. So at least Carlos can kind of see how he's feeling underneath him and move from there.
Yeah, I think and you're going to need a perfect ride from Pascal Chant. There's other speed to the inside. He has the ability to drop in. We've seen this move going 5.5 before. I think this is his best distance. Yeah, he doesn't want to be hung 4 wide into that turn. Avoid that, maybe drop in, take a little cover, because I don't know if he's as quick as a couple of these right out of the gate. He's going to need some help from others having some issues if he's going to go ahead and clear. But really, that first 3/16 of a mile is critical for the chances of Pascal Chant. Yeah, you got to, I think, in this race, take a horse to all. Use everybody. I like how you've got subject to change in there. I kept going back and forth. Best effort, 5.5. Now you're going to get Jerry Robb escaping an okay price. That's when they jump up and bite you, a horse like this.
I looked back at his last race going 5.5, and that was a win at the optional claim and start allowance. So relatively speaking, dropping down in comparison to the distance that he's gone in the past. So for a red hot bond, so yes, this is a wide open field. Actually, really excited for race number 4. But we'll take a quick break. Okay. We'll be back with the latter section of the card. To Laurel Park around race number 5 of 9, 5.5 furlongs the distance here for maiden special weight level. 3-year-old fillies are going to go head to head in here, and we have a video spotlight on one of a couple of fillies that have got some experience. That is on the number 6, If Then. She's only had 1 race to date. She was rolling along quite nicely on the day, looking to make a move. Had to take back ever so slightly, but was able to then kind of scoot through on the rail.
Yeah, this was a good education for If Then, and after showing the ability to handle some trouble and to finish up like this, the connection said, no, not so fast. We're not back in for a tag. We're going to go ahead and protect and run for the maiden special weight. I think this is a step sideways when it's all said and done. Now let's see what a couple of these firsters might have, but she gets beat here by California Bella. Was like a 1-2 shot for Jerry Robb that had run some big numbers in the past. Lightly raced, but dropped down here to get it done. All the adversity, little zigzag through the stretch, finished up quite well. Hammy Smith with the fillies rolling. He's having a great last few months. Hammy Smith, good to see that. But I think If Then gained a lot of experience there in that first race. We'll move up off of that and rally into it.
Yeah, I think she's going to continue moving forward. I use her underneath. Actually, let's start with your top selection here. First time starter for trainer Damon Delodovico. Actually, first time trying to get a starting, because I do have a note that Noble Bid was trying to run, I think it was on the 7th of September last year, and actually got loose in the post parade and was a late scratch on the day. So at least we know that they were trying to get her going earlier, and that she was showing them all the right signs at home. But look at that work tab. I mean, a fair few sharp AM drills in there, and her dam Bradaria was a stakes place mare and ran a 91 buyer. Now this is her first runner for her, but look, this is definitely a filly that I'm going to be on board on.
Yeah, that mare was 4 for 8, 8 for 8 in the money. I made about $130,000. Damon doesn't run a lot of horses maiden special weight first out. You know how many in the last 5 years? If the formulator facts are correct, which I think they are, 5. He's won with 2 of them. ROI of $9. Gets a great draw out here. Yeah, looking back at that work on the 6th, solid 47-3. What was handling? So they're pushing a little bit, but the walk work 49. We know that's another one of Damon's horse, HP Moon. You want to talk about a real fast horse, 48-3. So that was, a horse was going pretty strong that morning. So we'll see. Right off the bat, take a shot. I like that small sample size and that ROI. That works for me.
See, I've got a little bit bit of a pick with the heart here. You know when you're like, oh, I'm a sucker for Sensen in here.
Okay.
John Salzman.
Yeah, you have been on this horse
I have
a long
been on
time.
her for a long time. I'm hoping that for once she's going to prove me right here. She showed a good bit of early speed as a 2-year-old. Returns as a 3-year-old with an improving performance on the day. Now goes second after the break. I always thought that she was a little bit up behind still, that she was going to need some time. I'm hoping that today is going to be her day. And look, they've kept the confidence in her. They kept her at the maiden special weight level. They kept thinking we have something here. I'm hoping that she's going to prove him right as well.
Yeah, forget about it. For Rob, just too good. All worked up again. The 3-horse will be your target, it looks like, up front. Going third off a layoff for Ricky Suma. Sensen ran well. She was there pressing. She dropped back. She looked all done mid-turn. She was kind of in between horses, and then she suddenly reemerged the 3/16 pole. I'm thinking, well, this horse might need blinkers. Maybe they'll throw blinkers on her. But, boy, did she level off and finish up well the last eighth of a mile. I like the effort that she brought. Yeah, she's going to be used in my exactas, which, if you can afford to throw into that pick 4, do so.
Yeah, I agree there. Race number 6, 2 other than optional claim, a full 4 years and up. And we did hear we did have a ticket coming in here. I have a late pick 4, and I'm actually spreading in this race. 1, 2, 5, and 9 here in this 2 other than, because I feel like there's a couple in here that could jump up, and I'm hoping to catch a price. Then I go tighter using the 1 and 3 in race number 6, and then in race number 7 I use the 2 and the 5 myself, because that's going to be a wide open affair. Well, actually, that's not going to be a wide open affair. I do believe my picks actually are a little slightly different. I have the 1 and the 3 in race number 7, so we'll get back to that ticket in the afternoon when it's correct again. Here, actually, I can run you through it really quickly. 1, 2, 5, 9 in race 6, 1, 3 in race 7, I do believe, and then in race number 8, I went too deep as well using the 2 and the 5, and then in race number 9, because it's a pick 4, so I think it's race 6, 7, and 8 for this late pick 4 ticket. So the numbers are actually correct. It's just that the race numbers on the left aren't. So race number 9, it is the 5 and the 6 that I use. So the correct horse is in the leg. So just make sure that you check that the late pick 4 starts in race number 6, which is the race that we're on right now. Let's start with your top selection in here, Keith. All 3s. I use him underneath. We have a video spotlight on this runner for trainer Hamilton Smith. He was very, very keen throughout. You don't actually see that much in here, especially going into the home turn. Really was fighting Dennis Arujo. And then he was boxed in, waiting to get a run. Looks like he comes out here, and then again kind of has to get steadied ever so slightly. Really unlucky.
Yeah, as soon as he gets it back going, you're right, it has to check again. So, Arojo and Ham Smith, they've had good luck together. Win the other day with Philly, right? The split horses. This horse is finishing up well. They're going to sometimes you're just trying to switch things around, right? We've got Toledo here this afternoon. All 3's just hoping for a clear trip. The last couple have been tough. You see a 2-back try between horses, checked upper stretch, and a rally. I think the 7/8 fits. You saw the way this horse was finishing up. I think he's got that grinding style, some speed to set things up, because we know where the 1's going. He's going to the lead with the blinkers. He's 2 for 2 now for Damon with the blinkers. He's in razor sharp form. He's going to make everybody work, because he was dead game to the wire last time. I just think the 2 can maybe draft up and sneak up and win this one.
Yeah, I have going for the lead in my exacta because he was so sharp. And when Damon gets these, especially veteran runners, rolling, they continue to stay peaking for quite a bit. So I expect going to lead to put in another big effort. I landed on the number 5. He's a shooter. He's 2 from 2 over this distance. It's a bit of a specialist distance sometimes, that 7 furlongs. He returns to it today. I'm hoping he's going to sit behind the abundance of front runners in here and make a move into it.
Yeah, you're right. Just didn't fire at all. You see the comment last time was under a ride, 3/8 pole, just never picked it up. You deserve a little price. I might still have him lined a little high at 6, but you should get some value because of some of these other horses. They're in pretty good form, and I think he may fall through the cracks. You like that with a high percentage barn when they fall through the cracks. But I'm going to toss in Semperfi. I think he bounced off the big return try last time out. Really good. 2 races back on the break, just flat as the favorite. Again, 7/8. He has that kind of positional speed and finish that's going to work here at a little bit of a price here for Mary Epler.
Yeah, no, I like that pick there because 2 back, the way he ran there would put him right into the mix of things. I was just a little bit disappointed that he wasn't finishing as strongly in that last outing, whereas I needed him to kind of make me want to use him in this spot. So I'm doing a bit of a wait and see approach here. Race number 7, not an optional claimer, 2 other than Malin 16, the distance here. And we'll start with the horse that we both have a fair bit of interest in here. That is Boss Logic, the number 3. Low draw. We know we like these kind of middle lower draws for Malin 16. Lots of early speed. It's going to be his second start after the break, which means he'll be a little bit more fitted than he was last time out. And I think that the 2-turn configuration brings out the best in him.
I think he's going to be fine today. He needed that last race. I didn't quite see the give up, but I'm going to think he's going to move up off of that. He can be the speed of the speed if he wants to be, and I think you might see Ruiz make sure he gets into position forward, at least by the time they hit the backstretch. Then he can make a decision. If Ain't the Beer Cold wants to go, let him go, and then we'll take back and rate. So, yeah, second off the break. This is another tough little race, shorter field, but very difficult to separate, I thought, this bunch, because you've got horses with kind of similar running styles in the 2, the 3, and the 4, and then you've got questionable horses. Who wants to come over the top? Is anybody showing that run? I don't think so. So I think Boss Logic is just a stayer that I can depend on, I hope, up front.
I hope as well. Both of us have some interest in Money Right. You use him in your Exacta 5-year-old by Candy Right. I wonder what they're going to do with him if he's going to try and rush forward as well. Like you highlighted, there's so much speed in here. Would they be better off saying, let's be a bit more patient and take him back?
Well, you glance at the time form numbers, right? So if you're kind of glancing at those, I look at them every once in a while. It looks like Boss Logic should be a little bit faster, right? But Money Ride, really big number. Will he come back to that 86? I don't know. He's paired up in the pass on the go back. I think he might be best suited just to draft in right behind the speeds, because I think he's able to make a move from just off of it.
That was my thought process as well.
We'll
like perhaps take a little bit of a different approach to it here today to make it more effective. Race number 8, Fillies Mess 4-year-old and up. Allowance level here, 5.5 furlongs the distance. We do have a video spotlight on a mare actually that we saw in the grade 3 Barbara Fritchie last time out, and she was hoping to make her bid that day, but she kind of had to go around a little bit, shift her momentum ever so slightly. And I do think that kind of, stopped her from rolling along as strongly as she normally likes to.
Yeah, she's had issues in her last 2 starts, but she got stalled a little bit coming to the quarter pole when things were ramping up for her, and unfortunately had to kind of jive inside, angle out again. But I thought the effort was good. You see her churning on late, only beating a length of 3 quarters. That's at 7/8. I think her run sometimes horses like that's a little bit more effective at 5.5 and 6 than 7. So she's going to need a little help. There's no doubt. She's hoping the 1 and the 5 just kind of get in a battle up front, and she'll be lurking. But she's made good strides off of the claim in top form here for Kreiser. So she's going to mean business from off the pace.
I mean, I agree with you. I do think that 5.5 means that they have to roll for her to really, really do her best work, because otherwise it's going to be on the shorter side. I know that sometimes these shorter distances bring out the close even more. She has to get that clean trip and that pace set up for it to happen. So I landed on Princess Kokachin, and so did you. She's a number 5 on the outside. Look, ultra sharp for Jerry Robb as of late, and I think she's gonna get kind of what she likes, and that's hopefully a clean trip to the front.
Yeah, I mean she's just gonna spy. Don't let Sweet fool you. I don't think anybody else has got the speed. So the 1 goes inside. Her best work is done on the front. She just is not the form that she once was. Princess Kokachan should be able to separate, I would think, by upper stretch. But then she better look in the rearview mirror, because I think Kaylasaurus
and see if Kaylasaurus is coming to chase her. The finale on today's card is race number 9, Mile and 8th. The routing distance here for 3-year-old maidens trying to get that first career victory on board. We'll start with your top pick in here. That's the number 5, Night Boss for Laurel Roadcap. Very, very strong 2 start to go, going the mile and 16 2-turn. Just lost out by a length on the day. Not disgraced whatsoever. One of the better figures in the field, is hoping to get that similar strong front-running trip.
Yeah, I think you're going to get maybe a little bit better price. Again, looking at from a line standpoint, could she be favored? Yeah. But I think the Patriots are going to jump on that stat with Mike Gorham, first time in the barn, 36% with a strong ROI. But Night Boss, the last 2 have been really good. And this guy, he held very well through the stretch last time out. These others have a little bit of fade, a little flattening in them. I think he looks more like the staying type, even at 1.125 miles. I don't think you're going to get any real strong value in here. 1, 5, or 6, we've got it. So they look like the 3 keys in the last. If anybody jumps up and runs out of the clouds, I would think it would be the 4, kind of that newer face second time, going maiden 40 on the drop. It's shown the ability to run okay, and okay fig going long. That's kind of your outside. If you're in desperation mode and need to reach a little bit,
you want a price?
That would be the 4 key the horse top and bottom with the 1, 5, 6. Yeah.
Let's move on to lightning round.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, we started we started later actually today, the morning show, because we are going back to our 12:40 p.m. post time, as we're now summertime again, right?
I'm loving it. Yes.
Light going on during the day.
Like that. I like that a lot. I want to sleep in a little bit. Don't have to rush quite as much in the morning because we're waiting. We get the scratches. Everybody's great. We get the scratches. Then we sit back and have to adjust and then get on the road. But yeah, that little extra time helps. Gets everybody a little sharper for the 12:40 post time. Yep.
Yeah, and we wanted to highlight our champion jockey, Javian Toledo, 3-time Maryland champion jockey, ventured over to Florida to Gulfstream Park, got his first local victory on board there on Headline Hunter for trainer Jose Francisco D'Angelo. That was the first stakes win for trainer D'Angelo as well in the Captiva Island, as you can see there. And look, Javian Toledo, no stranger to riding for Jose Francisco D'Angelo, because he partnered Jesus' team for him to 3rd in the Grade 1 Preakness.
Yeah, that horse always tried. I was a fan of that horse, no doubt. This one here, hey, I love it. Just under a guzzle hold right into the far turn, and Toledo asked to respond. This horse really kind of finished up well, going through the wire, winning clear. Good to see it. Like to see it when our horses and jockeys and trainers, they can travel and go get the money.
Yeah, couldn't be happier for them both and the connection. So congratulations to all. If you're looking ahead towards the Kentucky Derby as well as the Kentucky Oaks, Kentucky Derby Future Pool 4 has opened. Win and exacta wagers as well as Kentucky Oaks Future Win and exacta wagers plus Oaks and Derby doubles are available. So do have a look and try to predict who you think is going to be the value in those pools. Okay. I wanted to highlight a jockey that we know has done well on this circuit, but also just a wonderful representative for the sport. He has been given the George Wolfe Award, which is kind of, the West Coast way of basically awarding a jockey that has really represented the sport and has been instrumental in terms of policies as well as educating other riders. Just an absolute stalwart in the jocks room, and that is Joe Bravo. We can see him here in the Prince George's County. That was on Pixelate. That was from Michael Stidham, his most recent stakes win here. So hopefully we'll see him back again during Preakness week.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Bravo, he's something. I started way back in the early 90s in racing, and I was up at Monmouth for a couple summers around him. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Good guy. I tell you, he pulled up alongside of me one time, short story, and luckily nothing bad. He's like, he looked over at me, and I looked over at him. He's driving some souped-up Mustang and wanted to drag race. He takes off. Some guy up in front of him hit the brakes. I'm like, oh, my gosh. But he maneuvered just like a good jockey, was able to kind of get out of harm's way. But, no, Bravo's been good, and he's always a good interview afterwards, and good to see him having success out there. He's been around, and he looks like he hasn't hardly aged at all either.
Still riding high. And look, I know that he was based at Monmouth for a long time. They used to call him Jersey Joe. Now riding out on the West Coast, of course. Good luck to him. And one of his highlights of his career, 2019 Breeders' Cup Distaff win on Blue Price. That was at Santa Anita Park as well. So riding back out there. So congratulations to him. We couldn't be happier. I have to give credit to another jockey. John Ovello had a banner day on Friday, making it 3 winners. We're looking at the final win for him there. That was on Low Country Dew, 21-1 shot. First time starter for trainer Hamilton Smith, and kept on rallying.
Yeah, this was a good ride, and just talking about the horse real quick, I was thinking, Amy's got this horse made a special way. Gory, I'm very familiar with the connections. We'll see him next week. I'm thinking, what's he doing here in this spot? And boy, this she did it. I mean, he was sitting chilly. I love it. Just never really panicked. Just sat, relaxed at the inside, and brought the finish, and just carried him home. Yeah, this guy just kept grinding. I should say, Phil. It was a Colt, right? A gelding. So, got the job done at a big price. I know Gory's son later that night had like a $33 winner, and I'm sitting there with nothing. That's pretty bad. I called the Ellery Training Center after that race. I said, "What's going on? Your phone's broken. You can't give your old buddy here your tracking ounce or a little tip on a 21-to-1 shot. Come on now."
That's the kind of tip that we're all looking for.
That's
Absolutely.
all right. Wait till they get that invoice. Wait till they get that invoice next week for the announcer's charge for the Ellery Trout. Looking forward to it, guys. Great people. Couldn't happen to a better group of people down there. I love it.
Final point on today's lightning round. As we are gearing up for the Preakness Stakes this year, wanted to revisit one of, your favorite, right? Preakness Stakes 2012. I'll have another. Had won the Kentucky Derby, came into the Preakness, had to fight for it, but got it done.
Yeah, you asked me, man, there's so many, and I've been lucky enough to call a lot of charts and these races, but that one stuck out to me just in like a fun way. Man, what a fun group. After the races, the after party back at the stakes barn and everything like that. Good horse.
That was the fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're asking me, hey, when it involves a little party, it's good. But Bodemeister, I was a fan of that horse. He let me down. I came back at him again. Did have the exact in this race. I'll have another. I liked his running style, just that stalking, grinding type. The one horse, the style you want to own. But that was a good day. That was a fun day, and that's why it's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, Bodemeister the one to catch, but Al had another, worked for it, and got the job done. So we'll keep revisiting some of these special Preakness stakes over the year. I'm definitely going to pull up Swiss Skydivers and Authentic Preakness as well. That is my favorite, of course, quite recent because I was there and that was my first one working. But what a race. Aside from that, we have 9 races coming up today. So do come and wager with us or get yourself out here, grab a cup of coffee or another drink and play the ponies today.
You got it. Good luck, everybody.